Welcome back to another episode of Coldstream Rod Shop. We're going to start this video a little differently than what we normally do. What you're looking at is two new projects that are coming here to the shop. We are not going to start them right away because we still have other stuff to do. But what you're looking at basically is a 32 Ford sedan on a chassis, and then hanging off the front is the back half of an original 32 Ford Roadster. Throughout the body, inside, are bits and pieces, doors, both reproduction and original, that I should be able to put this original 32 Ford Roadster back into a complete 32 Roadster body. So sometime, I guess, over the next 6 months or a year, we will start working on that 32 Ford Roadster body. There's all kinds of bits and pieces stuffed inside here. There's sub rails, there's extra doors, there's cowls, firewalls. Like I said, some of it reproduction and some of it original. So kind of excited to do this. Kind of adds to the 32 Ford theme that we were kind of into here in the shop. At the moment, there is a hurricane coming, so I'm kind of hard pressed to get this thing stuck inside. So my first thing that I'm going to do here is kind of get the other garage ahead here. We're going to look at trying to store it in there with the finished cars in the short term. So over here in the new garage, I'm just going to pull out the 29 Ford sedan here in a couple minutes, and then I'm going to try and shuffle things around in the back of the garage here in order to stick that thing in there. So it's actually just starting to spit rain a little bit here now. Hurricane's not supposed to hit until later on tonight, but my intention actually is to clear all this stuff out of the way here and park it here next to and in between the 32 Ford pickup and the 29 sedan. So right out here. So let's see what we can do to get her in here before the weather lets loose on us. So there it is. We have it inside now. Managed to get lawn tractor, snow blower, all the other bits and pieces back in here. Can still move around some, but anyway, the sedan and the future Roadster are safe and sound inside now. We'll close her up and get ready for the hurricane coming here. Here we are. I'm gonna have to talk about these projects because the hurricane turned out to be a post-tropical storm. but nevertheless knocked the power out for 4 days, so really couldn't do too much on the Coupe. So what I'm going to do now, I'll talk a little bit about these projects and some of the parts and where they came from. As I mentioned, it's a 32 Ford two-door sedan project that's come in. It's on a frame, front end on it. It's got a Halibran quick change rear end in this particular chassis. I believe what the owner wants me to do is basically reconstruct the rear quarters, put the bead back on, fender well back in, some sheet metal work on the back, and then I guess after that we'll talk. The major project that he sent though was basically all the bits and pieces to make a 32 Ford Roadster. Now, as I said in the beginning, there's a mishmash of parts, there's reproduction, and there's a lot of original ones. The back half here is an original 32 Ford Roadster. A lot of body fill onto it. We're not really sure what we can save on this, and what we can and what we can't. If anything, use some of it for a pattern. We do have one reproduction rear quarter. The owner is going to try and get a second one. There's a pretty decent deck lid that went with it. There's a really nice firewall that came with it. We have one reproduction door skin. There are a total of 6 original doors. Some of them, you know, somebody's removed the hinges off of them. Otherwise, they're pretty good. The paint is really crazed, so I'm assuming it's got many years or many layers of lacquer or acrylic enamel or some combination thereof. But, you know, we would have to clean that off to look and see what's underneath it. The other 4 are actually inside the car here. Now, one thing that he did send, which is kind of really interesting, the cowl sides and 2 of the doors are actually from a 32 Ford Roadster that came out of South Africa. He bought them from a gentleman in Texas who actually lived in South Africa, and he brought them with him. And the one neat thing about that is that here's the original dash. On the original dash, you can see that the driver's column was actually mounted on the right-hand side. So that cowl came from a right-hand side drive 32 Roadster. That is the sedan dash that goes with this particular car. So I guess we were talking about it a little bit. I guess we're going to nickname it the International Roadster when we kick it off. Don't really have a name for it because there's bits and pieces from everywhere. Also, inside here we've got a new set of sub rails from Brookville that I'll use as the basis when I start putting it together. There's a few other bits and pieces inside the box here, odds and ends and pieces and brackets and patch panels, which we may or may not use. There's a set of firewall feet in there, and I haven't pulled everything out just yet, but lots of little bits and pieces in here. This car is actually pretty good, solid 2-door sedan, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting to work on it. I think, although I didn't ask, it might have been a drag car or something. I'm not really sure. Somebody cut open the rear wheels, but I'll ask them. I'll let you guys know later what the pedigree of this particular car is. Oh yeah, there is a new floor for the Roadster on top here. In this particular sedan, it's got the original wood into it that's in very good shape. So this one, I guess he's not planning on filling. So that's a little bit about these 2 projects that came in. And like I said, sorry, power is out, so I really couldn't do anything worth showing, I guess, on the progression of the 32 Ford 5-window coupe. But got to get on it now. We'll start tomorrow, and we'll get something for you for next week. So please like, share, tag, and subscribe, and tell us what you think about these 2 projects. Anyway, see you next week. Everybody take care.